How's it going, guys? PhantomCave here with today's latest old comic review, and today we are reviewing The Duel in Venice Part 1 and Part 2, numbers 937 and 938. I must complete my mission in life. That's just one thing is. So the story is called Duel in Venice, like I said, and it's a cracker story. It's one of those stories where it's one of those old stories where you can really get into, and it's obviously it's historical based, and because it's historical based, it has that. It obviously has that historical meaning into it because it's from the city called Malta is from a civilization back in the old days of, I think it is Polynesian. The civilization got invaded by Roman Empire, and then they got invaded by a lot of other things, and it's changed over so much over time. The Malta in retrospective has a lot of history. Now into the comic. Today we have, obviously we have Malta, and it's all about a sort of like this guy in particular. He's one of the major parts in the comic where he's trying to get revenge on one of his ancestors who had been abolished of his, they've been abolished of their royalty and all that sort of stuff, and he then tries to kill the Phantom. He's on his quest to try and kill the Phantom. The Phantom then he basically tries and kills the Phantom, but the Phantom always wins, and they both get sent off to a dungeon, which and we are talking about, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the first Phantom here and the second Phantom. I'm pretty sure we're talking about that. And in amongst of that, the Persian army at the time is invading Malta, and it's just such a good old story. And I'm aware of that in one of my recent videos there was a publication that was, I think in the 1996 or 1997 annual, we had a publication of this comic in that annual, and I was a bit amazed that he was actually in that annual, and that I didn't know that this story in particular was in the annual I'm talking about, and it's just pretty cool to learn that. And so the Persian army is going very nicely. They basically in it to win it, and the Phantom is basically at the end of the story, he is led off to face a cruel punishment which he does not deserve, and we will find out in the second part. So let's have a look at the second part. We're back into the battle on Malta. It's Duel in Venice, concluding episode number 938. Now, I have had some people reach out to me through comments and through, I think, social media or something like that, to change the camera placement of my videos. And obviously, if you had seen this week's video, and when this one comes out, it's probably going to be in last week's video on Monday, I actually changed the camera placement, as you can see right now. And hope it's, I haven't checked the video statistics for a while, but it's I think it's going alright. It's a good choice. So thank you. And so back onto Battle on Malta. So we are in the amongst of the Persian army trying to take Malta, and the Phantom is basically tied up in ropes and is on a slave ship, which, like I said, is a very, very cruel way to treat the Phantom, and he's now one of the Phantom, the character of the Phantom, is one of the most regarded. He's regarded as, in this comic, as an old person who is basically on the edge of his life and can't really. What are the words here? Can't really fight for himself, or can't really do anything because he's an elderly person. But anyway, he's getting rescued by his son and a couple others from a circus team that the son meets in another city, and he's basically getting there. He is saved and brought back into. He's saved and is brought back into the world as we know it, because he's healed from a person who is like a healing person, and then he's on the boat to Malta. And so we see a lot of this historical Malta scenes in here. We see a lot of stuff happening, and the Phantom basically is going to help this guy, the king of Malta, and basically gonna save them from what we know as a very lethal and very war proactive place in Malta. So yeah, and in arriving, there should be, in the comic, there should be 10,000 people coming from another part of the world, and that's taken a fair bit. So the Phantom acts on this plan to save Malta and to save them from the Persian army. He is pretty smart, I reckon. The Phantom battles really hard, and the Persian army sequentially is scared off, and they all say, "We are saved, the siege has ended." And the Phantom goes back to the first Phantom goes back to the Bengala, and the second Phantom takes on his legacy. And so we have the Phantom Forum. And before we discuss the Phantom Forum, I would like to point out that our little friend that was trying to kill the Phantom earlier in our story is basically renewed of their family, is renewed of their royalness, royal titles, I think it is. And now on to the Phantom Forum. So I think, yeah, back in the old days, they had a $25 reward winning letter. We've got some ads, Ripley's Believe It or Not. I actually read that stuff. What do you know? We've got the Alternate Worlds, and we've got the Phantoms. Yeah, if you want to subscribe to the PhantomCave YouTube channel, go do so. We're at, I think, 88 subscribers, but that could go up in the next couple of days and weeks. And so if you like, share, comment down below, and keep safe from this pandemic that is affecting us. And as always, keep Phantom Caving, and see yous.